I'm so excited for you to find out about this new program that I've created called the Authors Program. It's a 6-week mastermind course that is going to take you from start to finish on writing, publishing, and promoting the book that you've always dreamed of writing. So if you've ever dreamed of becoming a published author, this is definitely the place for you. I'm going to take you, as I said, through the process of how to write a very successful book, how to publish that book, and then how to promote that book. So I've done a lot of research and understand exactly what works as far as writing, publishing, and promoting your book. This is me. I'm actually in the Grand Canyon, and my name is Susan Marie Hagen. I am an Amazon best-selling author. I authored a book called Unleash the Power of Your Mind, and since then I've authored several other books, and I have a couple of other ones in the works. So I guess I'm a serial author. And I absolutely love to see success in people. So that is my primary goal in life, is to help individuals and businesses become successful in their life. So not just with money, but also with your goals. A lot of my courses are designed around that in mind. With this process that I've created, you can write, publish, and promote your book in 6 weeks. So you can be a published author in 6 weeks. You're going to have a really great book that you've created based on these techniques that I've actually created within the course. A little secret for you. You may not know it, but you have skills and knowledge that other people don't have that you can share with them. This is a great basis for a book. Now, you can write a fiction. I've written a lot of nonfictions, so really a lot of the course is based on nonfiction. I do have one fiction that I'm working on, so I have used these same techniques to write my fiction book as well. So I'm sure you're asking yourself, well, that's really great, but how do I do it? And I'm going to give you a couple of just snippets from what is in the course that's going to help you to understand how the process works. And I do say this to you, and this is what I did. So for many, many years, I dreamed of becoming a writer, an author, and I never did it. And then finally in 2013, I sat down and started writing. I've got several of those books actually still sitting in my files, and they're collecting dust because I sat down at my computer and started typing. And that is not the way you write a book. And so I did a lot of research and finally got to the point where I figured out how to create this book. And I say this to you, if not now, when are you going to write this book? And with this program, you're in the perfect position to actually do that. So writing a book is about breaking it down into digestible sections. So it really is about starting out small, starting out with an outline, and then expanding. So you start the process with brainstorming. Really, if you have no idea what you're going to write that book about, then you need to brainstorm and really start thinking about different titles. And I even have a list of titles that I have put aside that one day are going to be created into books. So a brainstorming activity looks like this. And I'll say this, I always start mine out with a 10-minute meditation to relax, to kind of flow into it, And then I'll sit there and I will write down, what am I passionate about? What do I have knowledge about? And just let yourself write down everything that you can think about. Going through this session and writing down all these ideas are going to help you to narrow down what your first book idea is. So what are you passionate about? What knowledge do you have to share? And then go through that brainstorming session. I also use, so once I have that idea and I have that written down, and it might be the first idea for a title. My titles change as I go along writing the book. And remember that. This is fluid. You'll be changing this as you're going along. So don't get too stuck in that square box. Think outside the box. Think about things can change. I use a technique then called what I call the 10-10 technique. And I call it the 10-10 because we're working in 10-minute increments. 10 minutes are easy to break things down and really go into a brainstorming session. So I'll take a pen and paper out and I'll start writing down all the messages that I want in my book. For instance, when I was writing the book about writing a book, I went through, what do I want the message to be? Well, I want it to be about writing, publishing, and promoting your book. And within writing, I want to communicate this 10-10 technique. I want to explain what a cave is. I want to explain how to stream. So I wrote everything down. Make sure that you're relaxed when you're going through this process. Click on that first 10 minutes. Go ahead and start writing them down. You've got 10 of them put together. Then writing down underneath each of those 10 key messages, 3 key outcomes. So explain how you're going to flow through that idea, through that chapter. A lot of times it's explaining the problem, going through the process, and then the conclusion. So there are many books inside of these chapters, and you want those 3 ideas to come in. Now, once you have that set up, you want to set yourself up for success. And especially if you're a first-time author, you want to make sure that you've got a dedicated space that you've set up. And I call this the writer's cave. And it's a little space that you set up, maybe in the corner of your bedroom. Maybe you've got a separate area that you can set up for an office. But make sure you go to the same place so that you are going there to write. Now, I have come to the point where my writer's cave can be anywhere. It can be on a mountain. It can be sitting on a plane. But to get you started when you're first writing, make sure you've got your area to go to. Your writer's cave also is there so that you can go there and write and find the best time of day that it is for you to write. Are you a morning or a night writer? I'm a night writer. I become really creative at night. But you might be a morning person. So you might get up in the morning and really feel all full of energy and creativity, and you're ready to sit down and start writing. You're relaxed. Now, to get a book done, there are 2 key things that you need to do, and I use both of these techniques. Set the goal and the number of pages that you want to write. So if you want to write a book in 4 weeks, and this book is going to be 100 pages, then you want to make sure that you are at least writing 25 pages per week. Now, you also want to break that down into days. So if I'm writing this over 6 days or 5 days, let's say 5 days, it's easier. So if you're writing it over 5 days, then I want to write 5 pages per day, right? Leave yourself some time for editing. Really important to do. Dedicate some time too. Make sure that you are sitting down for at least an hour a day and writing that book. And then experiment with the best time of day for you, because sometimes you might think that you're a morning person, but you're more creative at night, and vice versa. That's just a couple of tips. As I said, if you get into the course, we really start digging into how to stream those, how to create your storyline, how to actually expand those chapters. When you get ready to publish your book, and you're ready to get published, you've done all of your writing, you've went back and either had someone read it or you've had a copywriter take a look at it. Now you're ready to get started with publishing. Now, I would say the best way, especially for a first-time author, is self-publishing. It can take some time to go through the publishing process. Now, I am going to show you how to do that in the course if you are interested in doing your publishing through a publishing company. But I'm also going to show you how to self-publish. Now, I like the self-publishing arena, and a lot of authors are going to that because you have complete control of your book. It's quick to market, and I would say Amazon is probably the best way to get your book out there. It's got a really wide audience. You've got a worldwide audience out there. So complete control, quick to market, and Amazon gets you a wide audience. If you self-publish, here's the things that you have. You have complete freedom over everything, and you've got editorial control. So your cover design is your own, your layout, your size, your format, and no one can force you to change your content. If you're passionate about that book, then you want complete control over that book. You might want to get someone that's going to give you some advice. And most book publishers don't even give you an editor anymore. So if you've seen any movies where you've got the editor working alongside of you, that's usually not what happens now. And you've got control on how much you market your book, how you promote your book, how much spending you're going to do on that. And a lot of times that's what these publishers are actually doing now, is saying, hey, here's your book. We've helped you. We put our name and our stamp on it. Now go to your audience and tell them that you have it. So this is another reason that self-publishing is just a lot of times the better way to go, especially with your first book. Now there's two arenas that really work well. One is the arena for ebooks, right? So Amazon KDP is a really good way to publish your ebook. It's inexpensive. There's no publishing fees. You can upload a Word document. If you want to get a little bit fancier, you can even go to an HTML file, sorry. That's going to give you some really nice graphics and things like that. And if you want to, there's lots of different resources that you can get formatting and get some help along the way. I'm going to give you those as well. So how do you actually get that help? Where do you go? There's lots of different places that people have those skills that are willing to help you. Now, you might want to publish a hard copy of your book. And there's two ways to do that: CreateSpace and Ingram Sparks. I like those two. I like CreateSpace because they give you your ISBN number free. You've got high royalties whenever you do publish, and then you get listed with the major bookstores, including Barnes & Noble online and Nook. So you are going to be on Amazon, and you're going to be through their KDP system. You're going to be on the Kindle system, and then when you use CreateSpace, then you end up on Nook as well. Ingram Sparks is great. It does get you in front of a lot of people, and you have complete ownership. Now, with that, you need to buy your own ISBN. With either of these, you're going to want to copyright all of your material. And then you're going to need to do your own promotion. Now, an ISBN is something that you can buy out there. It's really important to have because it's the only way to get your printed copy on bookshelves. You need to have that barcode. You need to have that ISBN number. Every book that's been published has an ISBN number. Now you could go to isbn.org. It's about $125 for that. That's why I love CreateSpace, because it actually is a very inexpensive way to get that ISBN number. When you promote your book, remember I said with your CreateSpace, you're already in Barnes & Noble. But you can also, as a self-published author, you can get your book listed on Barnes & Noble. You will be listed on bnn.com if you go with CreateSpace. But yes, you can go ahead and do it no matter where you're looking at. So if you're going with Ingram Sparks, you can still get your book in Barnes & Noble. This is their small desk publishing department. You can write them a letter. Get out there and get your book known. And then do a book signing, right? So Barnes & Noble also has this great program where if you contact your local Barnes & Noble, a lot of times you can have your book set up with an event. That's one of the ways that I show you in the course how to promote your book. Other ways through YouTube and press releases and lots of other ways to do promotions. KDP has promotions, blogging, and how to actually get out there on all of these different sites that you can write articles and push that book out there and promote yourself. So those are just a few, but we'll go through multiple different ways to promote. So right now, let's just give a real quick recap of what I went through. And this, like I said, is the highlights. Sign up for the course. It's really inexpensive. I've made it that way so that you can learn this material, work alongside with me. And I'm really excited about this. Not sure how long I'm going to keep this at that price, but right now I just want to share it with everyone. So writing with your outcome in mind, that's your brainstorming. And I will talk to you about that outcome in mind also. The 10-10 technique, that's a great technique. Self-publishing, and then promoting your book. When you are signing up for the course, here's what you get with the course. It's 6 training classes. They're pre-recorded. They are in the Awakening Events course page. So really nice format for you to go through. In that course page, you're also going to have the worksheets and the manuals that go along with everything. So it'll help you to really get the information that you need. So all that information there. So worksheets and all of that so that you can brainstorm and really get you started so that you have everything that you need. Then access to a private Facebook group. This is where we all work together. I'm going to be monitoring it, bringing information in there as well. And then I'm going to get on with a weekly question and answer session so we can have some one-on-one you can ask me questions, and you can also listen to other students and what their questions are. It's a great way to learn. So if you're ready to tell your story, go ahead and click up above this video and let's start working together. I am so ready for you to tell your story. So what's your story?